Okay, I'm live here. Hey, Jim Hart here from Hawthorne Law. This is a video I didn't necessarily want to do today. For those of you that follow the channel, you know that I typically do a video about once a week. This is an extra video. It's actually a live video. And today I want to talk about the legal implications of the coronavirus. I didn't necessarily want to post this video. This is this is going to be a different style than what I normally do with my tips and things that I do about legal business, LLCs, online, all those type of things. Somewhat off the cuff. I've got a bunch of notes here, and I'm happy to answer some questions. Let's see, Gordina, yeah, you are first. So basically, my role as a lawyer with my clients is typically thank you, Lance. I appreciate that. I don't have my glasses on because they were a big glare, so it's hard for me to see the screen. But my role as a lawyer is really to help people to mitigate risk, and that's what lawyers do, right? And with an event like this coronavirus pandemic, there's obviously a lot of risk going on. This is obvious clearly from the way the stock market is handling things to the way we see closings going on everywhere. I mean, even here, I just talked to somebody about my son's Cub Scout pack, and we talked about, are we going to have a pack meeting tonight or not? Because there's now, I think, 12 cases in my state. So it's here. You can't ignore it. It's not going away. It's something we're going to have to deal with. As you can tell, I'm here. I'm at home. I'm in my kitchen. All the kids are at school. Schools are still open here. That's great. So I want you to stay safe. I want to stay safe. I want all my clients to be safe. And so my take on this is really that a little bit of sacrifice in the short term can hopefully get us through this much faster in the long term. And it's not going away. For those of you that are overseas in Europe or wherever, clearly you're seeing this much more so than we are here in the United States so far. But I have a feeling that here in the United States, it's just going to grow and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But this is going to have a huge impact on you and your online business, depending on what level of in-person business you actually do. And so especially if you do live events, if you do social gatherings, if you do things like those, you're going to see a huge impact. And government shutdown, I don't think I don't think that's going to happen. That would be terrible. No, I don't think that's going to happen. So I also wanted to give a shout out to Heather Pierce Campbell. I think it's Heather Pierce Campbell. She's got a website called Legal Website Warrior. I got a video from her, or not a video, an email from her talking about these type of things, and it was kind of the impetus that I needed to post this video. So I'm going to try and go through my thing, the topics that I've written out here fairly quickly, and then I'll have, if you have some questions or whatever, I'm happy to answer those for you. But so in what I've read about the coronavirus, and I'm sure many of you have also been following this, is that there's a lot of people out there that are healthy, specifically younger people, who don't think this is a big deal. And none of us have really lived through anything like this before. There was H1N1 back in, I think, 2010. I don't remember a whole lot about how that affected us. I do remember being somewhat nervous because we had an infant child at the time, and it was affecting younger people more than older people. But this one is affecting older people more than younger people. And so a lot of people that are young, specifically in their 20s, 30s, even me in my 40s, can be somewhat lackadaisical about what's going on and think that this is not going to be a big deal. But what I'll tell you is, if you continue to act as if nothing is wrong and you're young and you don't worry about this, then it is going to be a big deal, and it's gonna blow out of proportion because you could be carrying it and not know it and pass it on to somebody else who it could kill them. And so that is a concern. And so I would just first and foremost say, if take this seriously. Don't think that, I mean, the world's not going to end. We're going to get through this, but we have to take it seriously, and we've got to take precautions, and it's going to affect your business, and there's going to be legal implications to your business. So I guess, what should you be doing? How could this potentially impact your business? Well, first thing you need to do is look at your contracts and see specifically if you're doing in-person events, if you're doing live events, if you're doing coaching, consulting, one-on-one, person-to-person, things like that. All those things are really going to have to, maybe be rescheduled, postponed, or even canceled. And so you need to be aware of that. If you're doing like live trainings or retreats or things like that, then you need to look at your contracts, and you need to probably reach out to the vendors now and see what's going to happen. What can you do? Do you have deposits? Do they want to postpone your event? Are they, this is going to be a financial struggle for all of us, and so it's something that you need to be thinking about. If you're not already, you should be working from home, hopefully, if your employer will allow it. If you are self-employed or working on an online business, as many of the people that I work with here through the channel are, then you're probably already working from home, and that's a great thing. As you can see, like I said, I'm working from home today. So there's really no reason to be going out and about and doing things. Big events have been canceled. South by Southwest was canceled. And they just canceled the NBA season. They're talking about canceling the NHL season. This is affecting all of us in ways that we've never seen before. Here in North Carolina, ACC basketball is huge. They're doing the ACC tournament right now with no fans in the stands, and the NCAA tournament next week with no fans in the stands. This is going to have a huge economic impact, because when there's no fans there, it means that you don't need as many workers, which means people aren't working, people aren't getting paid, people don't have as much disposable income, and that's going to start to hurt all of us. And so what should you be doing? What do I think you should be doing? I think that you should be starting to look at more and more ways that you can go online with your business and with your contacts, at least in the short term. I think there's always a time and a place for person-to-person contact. I met somebody for coffee this morning. They haven't told us not to be out and about yet here. So, we're going to try and go about our daily lives. But I think it's important also that you limit those one-to-one contacts. For clients that I have here in North Carolina, I am still meeting with them one-to-one. But that may change very soon. So that is a consideration. I think that in the coming year, in the coming months, you probably want to think about maybe putting more effort into going online, and instead of networking in person, start to network online with other people through LinkedIn and Facebook and other platforms, and start to get to know people online and through groups. I think that's going to be a bigger part of the business that we have. And previously we had said that that's the case just because, that's the world we were living in. I started to see something, somebody said they don't care about the coronavirus thing. And I think that's, I don't think that's a wise thing to take, because this is going to affect all of us. This is global now. This isn't just, unless you're living on an island by yourself, this is going to affect you. Either economically, physically, your family, someone you know is going to be affected by this. But as I was saying, instead of networking in person, go online and network online. Instead of in-person meetings, what I'm starting to do with more of my clients is use Zoom conference calls, or even talking on the phone to do initial consults and client meetings and things like that. I think that's an important part of all this. Like I said, if you do have live events, you need to look at your contracts and see what types of clauses are in there. You should have impracticability clauses or force majeure clauses that deal with events like this, where it's impractical or impossible for you to perform on the contract, and so it can either excuse you from the contract or allow for some other remedies. So you need to check those and look at them. And like I said, be in contact with those vendors to make sure that both of you are on the same page in terms of what is going to happen and what the plan is. And that's pretty much, that's kind of what I've got today. I just think it's important that we all think about this it's bigger than just you, and it's bigger than just me, and it's bigger than all of us. We're a world population, and we need to be thinking about this globally and how we can all help each other get through this. And probably the best thing to do is going to be to stay home for a little while and limit your contact with the outside world. And I know that sucks. I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. But I also don't want my, wife's 90-year-old grandmother dying because she caught this disease. So, there's things that we just need to think about. And if you're stuck at home, you got nothing to do, and maybe if you're not already employed, now might be a good time to start thinking about an online business, because there's lots of options and opportunity out there as well still. So even though the stock market's tanking and it seems like the world's coming to an end, it's not. We're going to get through this, and things are going to be better in a few months, hopefully. So I'll try to you sit on your butt all day in your apartment. Yeah, it probably won't affect you. Hopefully it won't, but it could affect your family. Wayne, thank you. I appreciate sound advice. So that's kind of what I got today. This is a little bit different. It's my opinion, and some people may agree, some people may disagree, but it's what I think. And hopefully, thank you, the brain. I appreciate that. But hopefully, if we all stick in here together, we'll get through this, and we'll be able to move on to our normal lives here again very, very soon. So that's what I got. I'll be back next week with another video and update my toolkit. I'm still working on it. Now that I'm home, away from the office, and not meeting with as many people in the office, and I have more time on my hands, I'm almost done. So anyway, Cakeology, yes, go ahead. There's a link on any of my videos to schedule a consult if you'd like to. I'm sorry about your dad. My mom passed away of cancer too. That sucks. I don't wish that on anyone. So that's it for today, folks. Have a good one, and stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Drink lots of coffee. Drink lots of fluids, and eat healthy, and we'll get through this. Take care. Never done this before. I don't even know how to turn it off. Okay. I think there's a button here somewhere. All right, there we go. I figured it out. Have a good one, folks.